All right, so live right now on the Ruckus, we have Luis Arias. First off, thank you for taking our time coming on the show this evening. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, man, you've got a lot of buzz about you over the last week. Not really of your fault, but let's just call it what it is, man. As we told our listeners earlier, we kind of set the stage. You know, the video leaked here early last week of you in the parking lot there in front of the Mayweather Boxing Club, and the I don't want to say altercation because that makes it sound violent, but the scene between you and Jalen Love was recorded, and we could hear Floyd talking in the background. But we'll get to that. You know, Mayweather Promotions is known as the past, present, and future boxing. We're gonna do that with you now. In the past, what actually made you align yourself with Mayweather Promotions initially here a couple of years ago?
I was introduced to Floyd Mayweather through Hasim Rahman, the former champion, heavyweight champion of the world. I had building my relationship with him, and we was going back and forth, and then, he was the one that brought me out to Vegas. And when the time came to basically turn pro, it happened to be around the same time that Floyd was in camp for Cotto, and they was looking for middleweights to spar. And he basically brought me over to Floyd, had me basically audition for him and get the gig to be a sparring partner. And then that gig ended up turning into me being a part of Mayweather Promotions and being one of his fighters. So that's how that played out. And that happened with the Cotto fight was going on 3 years ago.
Yeah. As a Cotto fan, I really don't like that being brought up. That's a kind of a darker moment for me being a Cotto fan. So appreciate you bringing that up here on the air.
My fault.
No worries at all. Now, during that time there, underneath the Mayweather banner, now mind you, you didn't have a large amount of fights, but you actually they kept you fairly, decently busy. Do you feel during that time frame that you were with them, which was up until last week, that they gave you the proper push and maybe the proper media spin that you needed as a fighter and as an up-and-coming prospect, or did you think it was kind of limited and kind of hit or miss?
Well, initially they were keeping me busy. For my first year as a pro, I put up 7 or 8 fights. And then the next year after that, I only put up 2 fights. I felt like they could have done, just a little better job because I was proven to be a legit prospect. I was proven to be, a future contender and a future world champion. I was keeping my end of the deal going. I was taking fights. Didn't matter who really I was fighting. I was moving up in rounds quickly. My second fight was a 6-rounder. I wanted my 5th fight to be an 8-rounder, but we kept going. I've been getting the rounds, and I've been moving at a very good. I was moving at a very good pace. So I felt like it could have been a little better, but at the same time, I couldn't complain. I was getting the fights. I was getting the exposure, just being attached to them. I was still undefeated. I was fighting on good cards, and there was just other guys, in the promotion who were, above me in terms of their positions in their career, which is why they were getting their promotion and they were getting what they were getting, But I was just trying to, just keep my cool and keep my end of the deal by just winning and progressing, which I was doing, I was definitely doing that, and I was bringing them wins. I had put up the most wins for them since the very beginning.
Now, everything broke down. I know you said that you'd actually gotten a call middle of the night from Jalen Love letting you know that you were going to get released, and you're like, yeah, whatever. I'll wait to hear it from Floyd's mouth directly. Now, prior to that phone call, was there any sort of signs, any sort of shade, or any sort of, people looking at you, or they feeling some sort of way the days leading up to that, or was it just literally came out of the blue?
Well, for the most part, I thought everything was good. Like when the Floyd fight came around, I was real active with the whole TNT thing. I was at all the events. I was, barbecue, appreciation party, everything. I was there. I was supporting him while he was sparring. I was doing everything. So I felt like it did come out of, left field. Given that I just fought and I just won again, you know. But at the same time, you know, he must have just felt a certain type of way, and he decided to do what he did, you know. But I was ready, you know. Things happen in the sport, you know, and you can't really just. I can't really just dwell on that. Just keep moving forward. You know, it happened, and whether it was out the blue or whether I was given signs, it happened, and now it's time to just move forward.
Now, and speaking of moving forward, we saw the Instagram pic of you standing next to Bob Arum. We know that a lot of other promoters and managers have probably reached out to you here in the last week. What will you need to see or get out of a promoter before you sign with them to really progress your career going forward? Because whoever you sign with, you're going to be locked into them for the next few years. What will you need out of them that you didn't get out of Mayweather Promotion, per se, to go forward?
Well, I have a brand new daughter in mind, so I basically have to just make sure she's okay and my career is okay, because the way my career is handled is the way she's going to eat. So it's going to just basically come down to the one who could propose the best business plan and game plan for me. You know, I understand the business. I understand, you know, everything that goes on, you know. So it's going to come down to who could basically give me the best TV dates, the most TV dates possible, who can push me the best and promote me the best, and who can help build my brand the best. You know, I'm listening to everybody. You know, there's a lot of different companies out there who present different ideas to me. But like I said, it's going to come down to who can give me the most exposure and who can move me like a legit contender. You know, I feel like I'm one or two fights away from being labeled a prospect. You know, I'm ready to go 10 rounds, and I see a title shot within 1 or 2 years. You know, given the correct promoter, the right promotion, the right, you know, people pushing me and building the brand. So it's going to basically come down to that, you know, who can present the best game plan for me. You know, I'm young, I'm 24 years old, but I can make a lot of noise in this game, and that's my plan. You know, I plan to go after the big fights. You know, I'm a very marketable young man, and I plan on taking full advantage of that, and I'm going to need the promoter who's willing to back me behind that.
Ishmael, you got a question?
Yeah, Louis, I wanted to ask you, as far as your time with Mayweather Promotions, what would you say is the biggest lesson you learned from that whole entire situation?
Well, I learned a lot. You know, I'm very grateful for what I've learned these last 2 years. Obviously, Floyd is a pound-for-pound king, and I was able to see what it takes to be at that level, the hard work, the dedication. I mean, he yells it a lot, but, you know, it's very meaningful to him. I was able to see, you know, the work ethic along as the business part. You know, I see what you got to do to become a big name in the game. You know, I was nothing but a sponge these last 2 years, just absorbing as much information as possible, and he definitely showed me how to do it. You know, but I want to do it my own way. You know, put my little own twists and turns. But he basically showed me the game plan, showed me the blueprint to how to get it done, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna just follow the blueprint.
How long do you think it's going to take you before you make a decision on who to sign with?
Well, the people I've already been talking to right now, you know, it's the end of the year. Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is coming up. So really, whoever I do sign with, we won't start getting pushed into January, February anyway. So hopefully, you know, by the end of the, definitely by the end of the year, I'll make a decision. Definitely, hopefully, you know, early December, mid-December. You know, it's going to take some time to get those contracts laid out and listen to everybody. Like I said, I'm not jumping on the first offer right away. You know, I need to get my team together as well as listen to everyone out. So I understand that that's going to take time because I want all my meetings to be done face to face. I feel like, you know, I'm a legit prospect. I have a very good case, and I'm a very good fighter for, you know, any promoter. So I'm gonna try to handle all my business in the most professional manner, and I would like to sit down with each and every one of the promoters who's interested and hear everyone out. So I know that that's going to take some time, and for this whole next month, that's what I plan on doing.
Gotcha.
Ryan?
Hi, Lewis. If we were to sit down with, Mayweather and, people from his promotional company, what do you think they would identify as the reason for dropping you?
I wish I could tell you that, because really pretty much that whole confrontation and that whole video that was leaked, that's basically what it was just me just trying to find an answer. And just knowing Floyd and what went down, I don't think we'll ever get a legit answer. But if you ask me personally, I think it was more like an ego thing. It was more like an ego thing because, my relationship with the Rockmans. I don't see nothing else. Like I said, I put up 10 fights. I gave them 10 wins. I haven't been dropped. I haven't been clipped. I haven't had any draws. I've been performing. I've been winning, and I've been, trying to stay out of trouble as much as possible. So that's the only thing that I can really think of. Maybe one day Floyd could just come out and say why, but as of right now, the only thing I can think of is that.
In those 10 wins, who would you say was a harder opponent? Daniel Livingston or Deshaun Johnson?
I think Deshaun Johnson was a tougher fight. He just can't. He's like an MMA fighter as well, so he had a lot of little dirty tactics, and he pretty much just used his experience and just made me fight the tough 8 rounds. I feel like Daniel had more of a boxing background, had more of a good amateur career, so me and him was a really good chess match. But Deshaun made me, he was headbutting me all night. He was using little rough house tactics to try to wear me down. So he really brought it all out of me. So I thought that was a good fight. But Daniel was also a very good tough fight too. I've been having a lot of tough fights, honestly. Each and every one of my fights, I feel like I've learned from them, and I got the best out of them.
When you're finally ready to get yourself in that title picture, what division do you want to target, middleweight or super middleweight?
No, my goal is initially to get the title at middleweight. I'm gonna get the title as soon as we can. Milk it a couple times, make a couple defenses. There's a couple big fights, at middleweight right now. The middleweight division is a very hot division in my opinion. There's a couple big fights that I would love to have placed in front of me. We're going to do that, milk the division as much as we can, and then we move up to 68, try to become a two-time division world champion, and then go after some big fights at 68. The 68's always going to have, some good names up there that, we could potentially move up and create some big fights out of them.
At middleweight, there's Gennady Golovkin, and, a lot of people don't want to fight him, but is that a fight that you would be interested in?
Absolutely. I think Gennady Golovkin is a great champion. He's doing what he's doing. People are getting put in front of him and he's knocking them out. But I'm not completely sold on him yet. I think he needs some bigger names, and I think he's beatable. Obviously, just a lot of people are scared of him. But what's going to happen when somebody hits him back? And I guarantee you, once that fight gets presented to me, it ain't going to be no fear this way. So I would love that fight. I would love to get in there with Golovkin and set up a huge fight one day, but time will tell. But he's definitely, one of the people I would love to fight. I'm not scared of him, and I know I got the tools and I can do what I got to do to make sure I become victorious in that fight, and I think that'd be a great fight one day.
Knowing that, there's guys that you anticipate fighting down the line, because they're at a more advanced part of their career, they might call you in for sparring. Would that dissuade you from taking the assignment?
No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? I'm 10-0 right now. I've been in part of plenty great camps already. I've been in camp with Floyd. I've been in camp with Chad Dawson when he was heavyweight champ. I've been in camp with Arias de Lara. So I've been in a lot of different camps with a lot of different world champions, and I would definitely take it, but eventually though I'm gonna have to stop going into all these camps because now I'm soon about to start having my own camp. Soon my name will be up in the mix where I'll be having my own camps, and I'll have sparring partners will be coming in for me. So as of right now, I'm trying to lean towards getting away from being a sparring partner, but at the same time, I got to take advantage of all opportunities presented to me.
Do you think you'll be fighting again this year?
Yeah. My goal is to fight in December, and I will be fighting in December.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And actually, I had a few more now. I know that you're saying you're going to do your own camp and training. As of right now, where are you actually working out at and still staying in shape? Since everything broke down last week.
Yeah, well, I've still been in shape. I mean, Las Vegas is the fight capital of the world. There's a lot of gyms. I went down to the Mayweather Boxing Club already, several times and got my workout there. But, I'm bouncing around a little bit. I understand that the tension is a little awkward sometimes when I go there and, people, got their opinion. But at the end of the day, my trainers are all there. A lot of my friends are there. So I still go back to the Mayweather Boxing Club. But there's a lot of gyms out here, I can work out at. So I'm going to just keep moving around, and just keep working. The last thing I need, the hardest thing to find out here is not a boxing gym. There's boxing gyms everywhere. So, we're going to keep working regardless.
All right, and as well, I know you said that you've been there to the gym a couple of times. So obviously your training and all your trainers and all that's going to stay the same going forward. You're still going to work with that same unit of trainers, no matter what promoter you go to, what direction you go to, and further. Correct?
Well, yeah, that's given if I do stay in Vegas. Given talking to a couple of promoters, questions have been asked if I would like to move. And I'm definitely open to that. I've done a lot here in Vegas, and the change wouldn't be bad. So, like I said, if an offer comes where me moving could be a part of the deal, and I would definitely be open to it. But we just got to see how everything plays out. But like I said, I'm open to a lot of things. I'm listening to everything, and obviously moving around, switching trainers, and switching places I live has been talked about. So we'll see, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. We'll definitely let the people know where they can follow and keep tabs up with you as you make this decision on which promoter and which direction you want to go in, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Give another shout-out so people can know to follow it and know when the news breaks, you'll break it on social media and let fans know where you'll be fighting at next.
Yeah. Well, just to everyone that's been following, first off, I'd like to just thank everybody, for their love and support with everything that's been going on. Obviously, everything that happened with me in my career just happened out of nowhere, and I've been having a lot of love and support from a lot of people, whether it's through the internet, through text messages, everything. I'd like to just thank you for that. Thanks you guys for having me on the radio, and continue to follow me because, like I said, this train is going to the top regardless of who's promoting me. And, follow me on Twitter, Luis Cuba Arias. Follow me on Instagram, Luis Cuba Arias as well. Facebook, Luis Cuba Arias. Just keep following me. I will continue to make noise, and I will be going after those big fights, and I will be a fan favorite very soon, hopefully this year.
Well, absolutely, man. We appreciate you taking our time and sharing your side of the story of the video that's kind of drove boxing fans a little nuts when we saw it last week. Now, I will say this from a personal note. Now that you said, you're going to campaign at middleweight, 168, would it ever be out of the question if proposed to you, and if obviously if the situation was right, would you fight a Jay Leon Love? Would you fight a Badu Jack if a title or the money was right? If that was presented to you, is that something that can legitimately happen?
Yeah, it's something that could definitely legitimately happen. We all know that this isn't an individual sport. Once you go in that ring, it's just you in there. Everyone is looking out for each other, for themselves. So, yeah, I would definitely take that fight, but obviously my main goal right now is to go after the champion. But let's just say, Badu ends up with a belt, or I end up with a belt and Badu is a mandatory, or Jay Leon is a mandatory, then we have to take care of business. Business is business. So, if those fights do present themselves, I have no choice but you know, to take the fight. And, you know, those guys know it as well. You know, obviously everyone out there, most of the guys out there making noise are super middleweight. So that all them fights could potentially happen, you know, and if it is presented to me, the money's right, the titles are in play, then yeah, that's we taking that fight.
And that's what we love to hear from boxers. Not giving a politically correct answer and saying, "Oh, we'll see." No, you're saying you'll do it if the money's right and the titles is right. That's what boxing fans want to hear more of. That's fighting the best for a belt. Makes sense. So again, man, we appreciate you taking our time this evening, joining us here on the Ruckus. You're welcome guest anytime, especially after you sign that new promoter deal, man. Come back on, talk about the next coming up fights. Definitely come next year. We want to hear more and have you more on the show, okay?
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. We'll keep in touch, and hopefully soon I'll be back on here making some type of an announcement.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Peace.